Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment, Land & Sea Motorsports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end! Oh, they're rushing the field! They've done it! 3 zeros on the clock. This game is over. It's over. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. His first career touchdown. And how big is that? Oh my goodness. Have a day, boys. Have a day.
Have a day.
Have a day.
Have a day.
That was absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah. And here's this, too.
I said the Lions won a game. Man, we going all the way. Baby. We about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game, bitch.
That's awesome. That's well played. I like that. That's funny. I'm sorry. That Dan Miller call was that's such an embarrassment. Like, come on. Like, I can understand like a certain level of excitement for that. I get it. You're the team's play-by-play guy. I get it. But that's way over the top, dude. And before we go any farther, welcome to Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Joe Waddell. Frank is off tonight. Frank, hope you're feeling better, buddy.
He's logged on to Twitch, so if you want to interact with Frank and us, log into Twitch.
Yeah.
The Twitch portion on sotdet.com.
Yes. But yeah, that was I'm sorry, that was just a flat out that was an embarrassment. But it's also an indictment on this franchise.
Frank goes, love the song.
That's great, right?
It is. And listen, we're going to give them their due.
They won.
They won a game.
They won.
When in all reality, I said they were going to go 0-17. I was very adamant about it. So not only did they not go 0-17 because they had a tie, but now they've won a game.
Yep.
And
thank you, Mike Zimmer.
Yes, you can thank the prevent a win defense played by Minnesota, but also listen, they won.
They won.
Okay, they won.
Can't take it away from them. They won.
Not going to be able to take that away from them. You can't take it away from them. I think the celebrating like it was the Super Bowl is a little bit over the top.
Yeah, I'm surprised the parade route wasn't planned like immediately after the game down Woodward.
Oh, you didn't hear?
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is Frank head of that committee planning that?
I think that's why he's off tonight. He said he wasn't.
That's what it is.
He said he wasn't feeling well,
Oh, man.
but in reality, I did a little digging. He's actually on the committee to plan the parade.
He's heading that thing up, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's not the head of it
Okay.
because they held it against him that he gave up 3 weeks ago.
Oh, got it.
So, but now that
they
he's
demoted him.
Yeah, he would have been one of the heads of the group, but now he's just helping plan the parade route.
Got it.
He said, "Shh, I'm at an undisclosed location."
Fair enough.
Well, that's true. We don't know where you're at. We're not giving away the location. We're just saying that you're helping plan the Lions parade for what now?
I said the Lions won a game. Man, we going all the way. We about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game, bitch.
Because the Lions won a game, bitch.
I love that. I think they should absolutely hang a banner for this as well. Hang a banner.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, just retire Mike Zimmer, like an honorary retiree in Lions Ring of Honor
For Mike Zimmer, yeah.
For Mike Zimmer,
yeah. And actually, I said it on Sunday. I think he put the last nail in his coaching coffin.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a meme that had Ziggy Wilf texting Zimmer to pack his shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was an actual text, and then he pulled back on it and said, "Listen, just finish out the season, then pack your shit."
Right. To be honest, I'm actually surprised they let him on the plane for the flight home. That talk about an embarrassment. That was about as big of an embarrassment as Dan Miller's call of the final play of that game. Like, seriously.
Not quite as big of an embarrassment as this.
Do it.
They won a game against Minnesota. Unbelievable. They're in there dancing, celebrating like they won the Super Bowl.
Listen, to say that I'm proud of you would be a major understatement. Gentlemen, that's the way to just fight one more time. And it pays dividends. You know what we did? We found a way to win today.
Despite
when we
you.
had to do it. We found a way. And, man, we'll talk about the game, but all that later. But let me tell you something, man. Defense, we put you in some hard spots. We put you in some hard spots and you responded.
That's your fault.
You responded. Offense, man, we were doing some things. We kind of hit a lull, and when we needed it, we
Again,
came back.
your
We came
fault.
out early. And you don't do what we had to do at the end of the game where you're throwing it that much without your own line protection.
And they're only rushing 3.
This has been a long time coming.
Sometimes 2.
Sometimes 2.
You know what? It's what makes it hard too, by the way. But it's also what makes it great. It's hard to win in this league, man.
For you.
It's hard, but that's what makes it that much more special. I'm so f***ing proud of you guys, all right? Man, let's not forget these families over here that we were representing today.
Hey, I just want to say that was a hell of a game. We played complimentary football all game, and we stayed in there. Hey, but I want to give this game ball to Coach.
Did they just win the conference?
You would think so.
Hey, family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family!
Now, yeah, you found a way to win in that.
First victory of the year on the
Whoops.
line. Goff.
That was already.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was pre-lined up.
Yeah,
My bad.
they found a way to win in that you found a coach that was able to manage a game worse than Dan Campbell and Mike Zimmer.
Well, and to me, again, I'm not trying to piss on anybody's parade here, but when you look at that game, the primetime cross earring is a nice touch. Frank said the primetime cross earring is a nice touch, and he said the starting of the legs wrapping around him is what got me. You talking about when Sheila started to wrap her legs around him in that video? Yeah, that was a little weird. What I'm gonna say about this is they won despite Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah,
because you can argue that going for it on 4th down there was the right call. And it's because you could argue that they were going to let them score and then have more time to drive down and score, because if you kick it to them, you've experienced that as a Lions fan, you kick it to them and then you have them slowly, methodically pick your defense apart and then kick a last-second field goal and you lose. Mm-hmm. So you've experienced that. So the going for it on 4th down, you could say was strategy. And if they didn't get it, they turn it over, and then they have less of a field to go. They're not going to run out the clock on you. Even if they score, you have time to score.
Yeah.
The only problem I see with that is you didn't let them score. You kept tackling them on like the 5, the 4, the 3. If you're going to let them score and that's your strategy, then do your strategy. Let them score and then plan on driving down and scoring. You were still trying to keep them from scoring.
Yeah. And
then also you went for a fucking rollout pass play on 4th down.
Yeah, that was a horrendous play call.
What was that?
Yeah. You were running successfully on that defense the entire game.
Yeah. And so you didn't pick up the first down on 3rd down by running it. Yeah. So you just abandon the run on 4th down.
Exactly.
And you roll out with Jared Goff, who then fumbles the ball and turns the ball over. Yeah. It's one of those things where his glaring in-game mismanagements.
This time,
it's not a glaring mismanagement because everyone who is a fan of this team and Dan Campbell is now saying that was a strategy. It worked. That was a strategy.
Right.
No, man, they won despite him. And I actually give the players credit for this. They won despite him.
They did.
They didn't win because of him. And you've actually lost like 3 games because of him. And you almost lost this one because of him. So when it comes down to it, this team has actually got a win and a tie despite their head coach. Not because of him.
It's hard to argue that, and I've seen lately on the Twitter.com that even Terry Foster, who for years was one of the best sports radio guys like in the Metro Detroit area,
very much,
and he's totally 100% done with this Dan Campbell. He's done with him. He's
really,
like,
I didn't even hear that.
Oh, 100. Oh yeah, 100%. He says because he sees that what we saw from the jump. Like the dude is he's overmatched. He's in over his head.
Yeah.
100%. He's in over his head.
Yep.
And
well, it's funny that there's a lot of people coming in that direction now. There's a lot of people swaying in that direction now. Whereas at first, we were some of the minority that were beating that drum of Dan Campbell's a clown. It's not going to work. He's in over his head. We were a minority in this area, in this town, in this city. And now it's funny. We're slowly becoming the majority.
Weird how that works. Weird how that works.
But I do want to give the team props. Those players won despite their coach, and I can't take anything away from them. And as a Lions fan, I can't take it away from you for being happy about this.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't enjoy it like it's a Super Bowl win for Christ's sakes, but enjoy it
or take it for more than what it is.
Right, it's a win.
Yeah,
I did see some comments on social media that this is just one win out of many to come. There are only a few players away. This just shows it. Dan Campbell's going to be a good coach when he gets some more or a few more better players or a few better players. I'm like, what? What do you?
Yeah, what?
like that's all I could say is what? Wait, what? What?
Put down the pipe. Relax. Put down the pipe.
Yeah, listen,
you'll be fine.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Crack is whack, dude.
Like, what are you on?
Yeah.
This was a win. They've been in some games, and I will say that I give the players credit because I believe they've been in some games they shouldn't have been in, not because of their head coach, despite their head coach, which I give them that. To me, that gives them even more credit.
Yeah, no, it's and like we just said, if you're a Lions fan and you want to enjoy this win, by all means enjoy it.
Do it.
That's fine. I'm not going to tell you, you shouldn't enjoy it this much or that much or whatever. Enjoy it, but just seriously take off the Honolulu blue glasses for a second and see this win for what it was.
Yeah, stop drinking the Honolulu blue Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
that is laced with apparently some drugs.
Apparently.
Frank says, I'm just happy Goff completed a pass longer than 10 yards.
There you go. And see, Frank, of course, the one show that the Lions win, like the show after the Lions game that they actually win.
And you're quote-unquote not feeling well, planning a parade.
You're planning a parade, and you're not even here to revel in it, to revel in the Lions' victory.
It's sad, Frank. It's sad. You sold us out to go plan a parade for a 1-10-1 team.
Priorities, man.
It's a sad day here at Sports on Tap.
Oh man, that's good stuff. It is. It's good stuff.
I had that clip, and it's because listen, I don't like coming in here and bagging on the Lions every week. It gets old.
It does get old, but it's hard not to.
It is hard not to. It's difficult for us not to. He goes, I know Joe gave me his family plague. I wish I was there. Well, Frank, I have my family plague for a better part of a month, and I never missed a show. So basically, the only thing I had to say about that is you're planning the parade. Stop trying to cover up, man. We know you didn't give up on the Lions. You're planning the parade. Just stop, man. It's okay. Don't try and cover it up anymore. Don't blame my family plague.
I think they're re-recording Forward Down the Field, maybe making a remix version of it or something like that.
Stop blaming my poor sickly child for you planning a parade.
Unbelievable.
3 miles too long, he says.
Nice.
What the? Reese says wrong text. I'm like, what?
Oh, Frank.
Yeah. So anyway, Frank, we do have to talk about this whole giving up thing because did this change anything, man? I don't know. You supposedly gave up 3 weeks ago and said as long as Dan Campbell and Goff weren't a part of we're were both a part of this team. They were both an equation. That was for the parade group. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Is this a part of something new, Frank? Is it good? Is it trending in the right direction?
Yeah. If they win a couple more games, he said no, it didn't. I mean, if they win a couple more games, you might be able to forgive the combination of Goff and Campbell, right? Maybe. Well, there's nothing wrong with turning around and going in the opposite direction, Frank. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Harbaugh almost has me doing it.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm good at segues, bro.
Well done, sir. Nicely done. Nicely done. So, obviously, as you all know by now, Michigan is the Big Ten champion in college football, and they are going on to the playoff to take on Georgia in the one national semifinal and the Orange Bowl, I believe.
Which Michigan should not be in the playoffs.
Really?
Yes, Michigan State beat them in a head-to-head matchup, so they should not be in the playoffs. That should not happen.
I see where you're going with this. I do.
Sorry.
I see where you're going with this.
That shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't happen. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, but it did happen, and Michigan is on their way to take on Georgia in the national semifinal at the Orange Bowl.
And nobody is more fucking surprised than I am.
Yeah, it'd be hard pressed to find somebody else that is more surprised than you are.
I know a lot of people are surprised, but I packed that shit in, man.
You did. 100%.
I did not believe he was going to take that team anywhere, anytime soon. And
now you're actually going to watch a Michigan game.
Now for the first time in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So what was it? Last season week, was it 3?
Something like that, yeah.
I was done. I'm not going to watch another Michigan game, and I didn't. I didn't even watch this Big Ten championship game.
Right.
I turned it on after the game was over, like when I saw all the messages about them winning. Yeah. I turned on to see the after celebration, presentation, all that.
Yep.
I haven't seen a Michigan game since last year, like week 3. And for the first time in like a year and a half, I'm going to watch a Michigan game, and it's going to be in the college football playoff, where Harbaugh should have had them before now, which is why I had such a problem with him.
Now, here's a question for you. If, say, Michigan loses to Georgia, do you come back week 1 next year and watch?
It depends on how they look.
Okay.
If they get housed, no.
Okay.
No. Because... to me, 2 games can't make up for 6 years of ineptitude.
No, and
you know what I mean? Like,
it's hard to disagree with that.
It's there's a lot of people that tell me I'm nuts for that, but no. I mean, if they get housed in this game, no, I'll pick up next season where I left off, and I won't be watching Michigan.
Okay.
And to Frank's argument, you're a Michigan fan. Yeah, I absolutely am. I'm a Michigan fan when it comes to every other sport, and I want to be a Michigan football fan again. Harbaugh's got to prove to me that my fandom is that they're worth my fandom. Basically, they're worth me devoting my time to them.
Yeah.
And if they get housed in this game, it doesn't. If they make a good showing in this game, then yeah, absolutely. Then yeah, absolutely. Because they're trending in the right direction. He's finally doing what he should have been doing.
That he was brought here for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which was my one and only problem with him the entire time.
Yeah. And it's hard to disagree with that because, I mean, me and you both kind of had the same issue with him. You took it to a higher level than myself, but
I mean, we all have different ways of dealing with things, right?
That was our biggest issue with him from the jump. It's like, dude, you were brought here to do exactly what you did this year, and it took you 7 years to do it, which is frankly unacceptable.
Completely unacceptable.
And so it is hard to just forget that, forgive that, and like we kind of talked about, it's like, all right, so you made this run, and that's great, but we're not going to forget that. I mean, maybe forgive, that's even a strong word.
I'm borderline. I'm on the verge of borderline forgiving it, depending on how they show in the playoffs.
But I'm not going to forget it.
I can't forget it.
No.
You were brought here to do something that it took you 7 years to do.
Yep.
And honestly...
And frankly, out of your own stubbornness, I believe, is why you didn't...
Exactly. Because what's different this year?
He brought
in younger head coaches, or younger assistant coaches. He actually looks like a different person. I said this to you on Sunday. Mm-hmm. He from what I saw in the after game, in the post game, he looks like he's actually having fun. From some of the interviews I've heard on the radio, like he doesn't sound like the stiff, I'm full of myself Jim Harbaugh that he was,
like the NFL guy.
He doesn't sound like that guy right now. And has he changed? I don't know. It kind of seems like it on the outside looking in for me. But again, for me, if you have changed, continue proving it, and then I'll buy back in. I'm not going to buy back in after 2 games. I'm just not going to do it, man.
You know what? I guess his demeanor this year, it kind of reminds me of like kind of how Pete Carroll was at USC. I think he's kind of starting to slowly transition into that type of coach.
I can see that a little bit.
If that's the case, I mean, you saw the success that Pete Carroll had at SC. I'm not saying it's gonna translate to that type of success, but I mean, if he transitions into that type of, like, I guess, personality as a head coach, I think that can only benefit the program.
So my expectation is that he becomes a coach that can make it to the college football playoff once every 4 years.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
It's hard.
Because it's hard to make.
Well, especially when you got 2 of the fucking spots being taken up by fucking SEC teams.
Every year.
Which we'll get to in a little bit.
So if they expand the college football playoff, I might make it a little bit more than that.
Which I think they're going to.
Well, I agree with that. With 4 teams in the college football playoff, my expectation has been, say, once every 4 years you make it there, right? Which means once every 4 years you win in the Big Ten championship. But which also means in the other years you're competitive.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be competitive in the other years that you're not winning.
Simple as that.
And you have to beat your rivals, which is, no matter what anybody says, it's Ohio State and Michigan State. You have to beat both your rivals on a semi-consistent basis when it comes to, you got to split with them, right? If in year 6 you were 3-3 against Ohio State and 3-3 against Michigan State, I still would have forgiven that. I've been fine with that. Because beating your rivals is not easy. Even Michigan State, I don't care what.
It's not easy.
I don't care what Michigan fan says. Michigan State is a rival, and they are worthy. And beating them half the time is acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just the way it works these days, because Michigan State is not the team that you think they were from the fucking 80s.
Nope.
That's just not them anymore.
They're a legitimate program. That's
Absolutely.
They're a legitimate program.
So if it comes down to that, win it or get in the college football playoff every 4 years, that's what a respectable coach that was brought into Michigan should be doing.
Yeah.
Because if you're a coach brought in and paid that kind of money that they paid him when they first got here, in another university like, say, Georgia,
if this was
Clemson,
if he pulled the
USC,
shit, if he pulled the shit at Michigan down in the SEC, he'd been gone after year 3.
Gone.
He
said, imagine that expansion for this year. Michigan could play MSU, OSU, and Notre Dame. Oh, I know.
Yeah, we're going to get to this.
Yeah. And then he also said they won't get housed, but if Georgia can stop the run, they should win. But I've been wrong about them all year, too. You know what, Frank? I'm not going to let only you own that, because I've been wrong about them the whole year, too. And part of it was my stubbornness against Jim Harbaugh. and part of it was I just really thought both Michigan and Michigan State were frauds. And it's been proven that at least one was not, and the other one was still damn worthy with a second-year head coach who basically was in his first year.
Right.
So I'm not going to sit here as an actual Michigan fan and bash Michigan State. I think they have a great thing going.
They do.
With Mel Tucker, and I think they're going to be a great team going forward. And it's one of those things that is. They're going to be good, and I'm not going to take anything away from them.
I think he's going to have a slightly better program than D'Antonio built. Honestly, I do.
Hey, Steve, appreciate you catching the show, bud. I know you got to bounce out. That's Steve from Baldman Entertainment.
Steve,
and check out their podcast after you're done listening to us. Check out their podcast.
Yep.
It's called Time Out with Steve and Scott. So they just released their 5th episode today. So check them out.
I'll see them, boys.
Again, that's Baldman Entertainment and Time Out.
I dig it. Yeah, absolutely. Check them out.
But yeah, sorry.
No, I think Mel Tucker, I think he's going to build a slightly better program than what D'Antonio had.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And it's Mel Tucker to me is a different coach.
He is.
I see some things out of him that are worthy of that. Maybe not worthy of the entire contract he got, but they're worthy of
they're just backing up Brinks trucks all over the fucking place for these college coaches.
I know.
Holy shit, man.
And Michigan's gonna probably back it up for Jim Harbaugh again.
Probably.
But when it comes down to it, he's worthy of a contract that keeps him at Michigan State, which is basically what that contract said is they needed to keep him at Michigan State.
Yeah.
They were willing to pay the price to do it. And
no, it just shows they're taking it serious.
They are, because he beat Michigan 2 years in a row, which is their main rival. He beat them 2 years in a row, and the first year he beat them, He was there 6 months.
Right.
Maybe 6 weeks. I don't remember. But he did it.
But with that being said, with if Harbaugh keeps trending in this direction, and Michigan State getting back to where D'Antonio kind of had him, and then obviously you're going to have Ohio State being good every year.
Every year. And, who knows what that clown in Happy Valley is going to do with Penn State. I fucking hate James Franklin so much. I do too.
But
Not as much as you do, but I do hate him.
But that can only help out not only Michigan, but all these Big Ten schools, especially when it comes to the playoff, if they're going to keep it at 4 especially.
Yeah.
Because that just means, I'm sorry, if you win that I don't care if you got 2 fucking losses. If you win the Big Ten,
Big Ten, you should
be in.
Well, and the Big Ten is looking like it's trending in the right direction, whereas, we've talked about it.
However, they do need to split up these divisions.
They need to
They 100% need to realign.
They need to realign them.
100%.
Michigan and Michigan State being in the same conference is one thing, but Ohio State should be in the other one. They should divvy up some of the stronger teams to make it a little bit,
because the Big Ten East is crazy. I mean, you got Michigan State, Ohio State, and Penn State in the same division. That's crazy.
And then in the other division, you have Iowa and Wisconsin.
Yeah, and maybe Minnesota.
Minnesota.
If PJ Fleck can roll the boat to actually help make them,
he needs to roll the boat.
Yeah, to make them relevant. So
yeah, to me, it's completely misaligned. But to me, it was misaligned from the start.
Oh, 100%.
I didn't think they should have done it the way it was.
Shit, it was misaligned when they named it Leaders and Legends. And
right?
It's like, okay,
yeah, they need to realign that. But so talking about the college football playoff, there is
and shit that at that moment, Notre Dame, be a big boy fucking school and join the Big Ten.
Or just join a conference.
Just join a conference.
I don't even care which conference.
Yeah.
Just join a conference.
Yeah.
To me, there shouldn't be any outliers at this point. Like, just all the football programs need to join a conference.
Or if you're the Big Ten, I think you'd take a serious look at Cincinnati. Say, hey, you want to join?
I'd be down with that.
You want to join?
They're right in the area.
100%.
They're fucking great.
Take a serious look at because they got a decent basketball program. Obviously, their football program's in the playoff this year,
and their football program's been trending in the upward direction for quite a few years now.
Yep.
So,
but it's not a big market. Who fucking cares?
Listen, if they're gonna be good, it's gonna be a big enough market.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's just the way it works. So if Cincinnati's good, right? Not everybody in Ohio is an Ohio State fan, right?
True.
So then you take over all of Ohio. Mm-hmm. And you take over some of the surrounding area. Mm-hmm. It's still if they're going to be competitive every year, it's a good team you want to put in your conference.
Yeah,
what is the argument?
Put it this way: would you rather have Cincinnati or Rutgers? Honestly,
listen, we
can. But Rutgers is the New York market. Are you serious?
Even New York doesn't care about them because they lose so fucking much. Like nobody. It doesn't matter what market Rutgers is in. Nobody cares about them.
No,
they lose.
They do quite a bit, and it's an irrelevant school. Sorry, it is.
They lose so goddamn always.
I like that, but
it's a nice show. It's a nice show reference. Like half the people listening will get.
Right. I get it.
Well
played, Will McAvoy.
Yeah, it's another reference only half the audience will get. So looking at the rest of this, so if you look at what the college football playoff is right now, you got Georgia, you got Alabama at 1,
yep,
Michigan at 2,
yep,
Georgia at 3, and you got Cincinnati at 4. Mm-hmm. And to me, there's no argument there.
Kind of how we thought we were going to play out.
Yeah, well, we discussed it on the Sunday show.
We did.
Game day, Sundays, 10:30.
Plug.
So we discussed it for the first little bit of that show on Sunday, and this is exactly how we said it was going to be. I mean, I don't think there should or could be any argument as to how this played out.
The only thing I would say against it was if you wanted to bump Michigan up to number 1, they had a legit beef to be bumped up to number 1. They did. The last 2 games, they dropped 42 points both games. Yeah. And if you actually look at their strength of schedule, it was actually better than Alabama's and Georgia's.
I know, but when you look at reality,
right? That's how you have a legitimate beef to bump Michigan up to number 1.
I understand that.
Yes,
but when you look at reality, all that goes out the window,
right?
Because Georgia was ranked number 1 all year,
and then they got housed by Alabama.
Then they got housed by the number 3 team in Alabama.
Yeah.
So pretty much you saw what was going to happen. The writing was on the wall,
and you knew it was going to happen anyways because the committee did not want Alabama and Georgia to play back to back.
Exactly. So it wasn't like they were going to put Michigan at 1 and put Alabama at 2 and drop Georgia down to 3, or even drop Georgia down to 2. Like, none of that was going to happen because they would have had Michigan playing Cincinnati and they would have had Georgia playing Alabama a week after they just played, or a couple, like 3 weeks after they just played. I mean, the next game later.
Right.
So, like, that's not going to happen. Yeah, everyone should have known what was going to happen.
And frankly, does it really even truly matter? Because if you're the Final Four teams, each one of those teams are fucking good. They're there for a reason.
Yep.
You know, you're gonna have to beat 2 teams to win the whole damn thing. So, fuck it. If you got to go through Georgia and then most likely Alabama to win the whole damn thing, then that's what you got to do.
That's exactly what you have to do, and that's just the way it works, man. There's 4 teams in it. You got to beat 2 of them.
Now, say this does happen.
Period.
Now, say this does happen, and Michigan somehow does win the whole damn thing. You're on board. Period.
If they win this first round matchup, I'm on board.
All this period.
Period.
No, it doesn't have what happens next year.
No.
Okay.
Because he made it to a national championship.
Okay.
He has done what he was brought here to do. In twofold, right? For me, it was he needed to be competitive, needed to start beating his rivals when he got here, and he didn't. So that soured me on him. If he had been beating his rivals all along, I still would be okay with them just now making it to the college football playoff or them just now making it to the championship game. Like, there's a difference in, like, you need to be. Maybe not. Maybe I'm overstating that.
To me, that might almost seem more frustrating, though. It's like you're beating your rivals, so that means you're losing to.
Well,
team you should beat,
But so basically, what I'm saying is, you're right. If they're winning, if they're beating Ohio State, you're beating your rivals. You're probably winning the Big Ten championship. You're making it to the college football playoff anyway. So yeah, I guess so. For me, if he'd have been doing this all along, I wouldn't have had an argument. He did this now. That's fine. He made it there. But now that you finally made it there in year 7, you got to take another step for me. You can't just make it there, right?
Yeah.
You got to win a game.
Yeah.
You got to win a game when you get there. It's taking you 7 years to get there. You got to win a game when you get there, bro. And if you come out and you get housed, I'm completely not buying in at all. I'm not going to watch a game next year. If you go out there and you're competitive and or win, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. Because I want to be a Michigan football fan again.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
You son of a bitch, I'm in. It's the simple fact of I want to be a Michigan football fan again. I don't like not watching the team. I've watched Michigan football my entire life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if he makes it that extra step, I'm in. And of course, if he wins it, no questions asked. You won a national championship.
You won a natty.
It took you 7 years, but you won a natty.
You won a natty.
I'm in like Flynn.
You know who else is in like Flynn?
You're gonna tell me, I think.
I am going to tell you. My guy, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank. If you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or even consolidate debt, give my guy, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Rates are currently incredibly low, and find out how you could get $750 towards costs or up to $10,000 in down payment assistance. So once again, give my guy, Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Nice.
I said the Lions won the game. Man, we going all the way.
I love it, man.
We about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game, bitch.
Now, I love that. But since we're still on the college football playoff,
I hate that team, but I can't get it
that thing is great.
I can't get enough of that fucking song.
That thing is great. Since we're still on the college football playoff, in our group text message, I sent you guys a screenshot of what a 12-team playoff this year would look like.
Yep.
And it's quite interesting, to be honest with you, because
it's very interesting.
Yes, it is. I don't know if you got it. If you can
I'm gonna try to pull it up here.
So basically, what would happen is in the first round of the playoffs, I think the top 4 got buys. So like the top 4 now got buys. I think it was like Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati get buys.
God, we text a lot in this fucking thing.
I know we do. It's crazy, but I believe that's how it works.
Yes. So it's Alabama has a bye.
Yeah.
Michigan has a bye.
Right.
Georgia has a bye, and Cincinnati has a bye.
Okay.
So top 4 have a buys.
Yes.
And then let's see. In the 1 and 4 bracket.
Yeah.
Which will be the bracket. If you're looking at it, folks, from home, it's on the left. It's a bracket on the left. You got 1 and 4.
Right.
You have 8 playing 9, which would be Ole Miss versus Oklahoma State University.
Mm-hmm.
And then down on the bottom, you'd have Notre Dame taking on Pitt.
Okay.
5 versus 12. And the winner of Notre Dame Pitt would play Cincinnati. The winner of Ole Miss OSU, which would be Oklahoma State University, not Ohio State,
right,
would play Alabama.
And now that's a matchup I wouldn't mind seeing.
I wouldn't mind seeing either one of those. Like I'd like to see Notre Dame play Cincinnati again.
Sure.
They played Cincinnati, beat them at home
on a neutral field.
It'd be a kind of a in that year rival game, right? The Cincinnati beat them at home, and Notre Dame's coming in with a chip on their shoulder.
And I saw an argument against this playoff. Like, this is exactly why there shouldn't be expansion in the playoff. I'm like, so let me get this straight. You wouldn't want to see Notre Dame Cincinnati again?
I'd absolutely like
rematch?
to see that.
You wouldn't want to see that?
Notre Dame would come in pissed.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want to see like Oklahoma State against Alabama, or who they playing? Ole Miss, right?
Ole Miss.
You wouldn't want to see Ole Miss try to go up against Alabama again?
I would.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, no, nobody. I mean, these nobodies that are dogging this.
Right.
So then in the other bracket,
Yeah.
on the other side, it'd be the right-hand side if you're watching from home. It'd be number 2 Michigan at top having a bye, with Georgia on the bottom, number 3 having a bye. So in the top bracket, you'd have Baylor? Yeah, you'd have Baylor, number 7, taking on Michigan State, number 10. So let's just stick with that matchup for a
Let's
second.
say Michigan State wins that game.
Right.
So they play Michigan in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch that.
For the second time they play, when Michigan beat them,
Yeah.
and in the first game, want it or not, like it or not, there was a little bit of a controversy. I'm not saying Michigan lost because of it, because that's not what happened. That's not what I'm saying.
Nope.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a game between two rivals that in the first game there was some controversy, and in the first game it was a hard-fought, close game.
Yeah, it was.
Who wouldn't want to see that again?
In the Rose Bowl.
Like I don't understand
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants
to see
That's
that.
garbage. That's garbage. So in the bottom bracket, you have Georgia waiting for the winner of number 6 Ohio State playing number 11 Utah.
Which I think Ohio State
So
wins that
Ohio
game.
State would probably win. Utah's pretty
It'd
good.
be a close
Utah's
game.
come on strong.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
have.
going to lie.
Yeah.
But Ohio State wins that game. You don't want to see Ohio State Georgia in a playoff game?
Nah.
Like, so what if it's not for the whole fucking bag of beans? It's a playoff game between Ohio State and Georgia. You tell me you wouldn't want to see that?
No, nobody wants to see that.
And then you're telling me, so say Ohio State beats Georgia and Michigan beats Michigan State, or even Baylor if they move on. In the semifinals?
In the Final Four, yeah.
In the Final Four, you're having Ohio State versus Michigan again?
Nobody wants to see that.
That's garbage. Nobody wants
Nope.
that.
Nope. Nobody
wants to see that. Or better yet, Michigan State versus Ohio State. Not better yet, but even different. Like
Right.
even if you're a Michigan State fan, okay, so say Michigan State bests Michigan again.
Yep.
Say they beat Michigan again, and they move on, and Ohio State moves on. So Michigan State got their asses handed by Ohio State. You think they're not coming into a neutral site bowl game playing Ohio State with a vengeance?
A little bit.
Man,
Yeah,
you're right.
they have a little chip.
You know what? You're right. Nobody wants to see.
Nobody
that.
wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see the best 12 teams battle it out.
Nope.
To see who actually is the best team. Nobody wants to see that.
Nope. Nobody wants to see that. These are the same people that think like the NCAA tournament should be like at 32 teams instead of 64. You know?
You're right. Those are the same fucking people.
It's like-
and those people fucking make me mad.
They do, because it's ignorance. It's like, and granted, I will say you do expand it to 12. Not every year it would line up like that. It wouldn't. It's just
No.
a fact. But I think the majority of the years, you would still have great matchups going on. You just would.
This is just one year that we look at the matchups, and they just happen to work out like this.
Yeah.
But imagine how the matchups could work out. Like, just look at the past. Well, they've been having the playoffs since what, 2014?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So look at the past top 12 from 2014 till now, and just look at the matchups you could have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not saying every top 12 team has a chance at winning the title, but any given Sunday or Saturday,
any given Saturday, or whatever day they fucking play it on.
any given Saturday,
Yeah.
right? I mean, football is a game of any given Saturday, even in college.
Right.
Nobody really gave Michigan a huge shot to win that game against Ohio State.
Nope.
Nobody really, like, coming into the Michigan State game. I mean, Michigan State was an underdog.
They were.
They took it to Michigan. They ended up winning that game. I mean, there's a lot of games in college football in the last few years, especially, where teams have gotten beaten.
Shit happens, man.
How many people gave Alabama the true chance at beating Georgia? Everyone thought Georgia was the better team.
You saw, even Vegas thought Georgia was the better team.
I mean, you and I sat here and said, I flat out said,
I took Bama money line.
Yeah.
I hammered Bama in that
I
game.
flat out said on the show
Yep.
last week, Alabama was going to win
I
that
hammered Bama in that game.
game. But when it comes down to it, nationally, Georgia was going to win, right?
Yep.
It happens all the time.
It does.
And you can't tell me that one of these, if say they go to 12 teams, you can't tell me a number 12 won't beat a number 5.
Well, again,
or whatever number it will be. Like, you can't tell me that won't happen. It will.
To that point, I'll go back to the NCAA tournament. People said you'll never see a 16 beat a 1. Dude, it's happened.
It's happened.
It happened. So you can't say that, 12-8 can't beat. Stop it.
Yes, they can.
It can happen, and it has happened. Stop it. We've seen upsets in college football forever. You've seen.
And when it comes down to one and done in college football,
Yeah.
one and done. Listen, that higher seed can be done.
Yes, it happens.
It happens.
So I'm sorry. Obviously you have the right to your opinion, but if you're so against expansion of the college football playoff, I'm sorry, it's ignorance. It is.
It is. When you look at only having 4 teams, every year there's a battle about who's number 5, right?
And especially when one conference gets 2 fucking teams in.
Every single fucking year.
And that's my beef with. I guess you could say this is a grind my gears type thing if you want to fucking hit that button.
Yeah, you know what?
You know what really grinds my gears?
I don't care how good you are or the eye test or your ranking, whatever. A conference should not be allowed to have 2 teams in the playoff if you're going to keep it at 4. It's nonsense. I don't care how good Georgia is or Alabama is. Fact of the matter is, one team won the conference, the other one fucking didn't. You lost the count. Out. Bye.
If it's at 4 teams, yes.
If it's at 4 teams,
now
yes.
if it expands,
fine.
Then no.
Then if it expands, fine.
But
Keep both in.
But at 4, if you're putting 2 teams from the same conference in there, it's conference bias, and it's ridiculous in my opinion.
But they're part of the 4 best teams, are they? I don't know.
I mean, they just lost their division, or their conference, so
yeah. I'm sorry. It's just if you're going to keep it at 4, if you're going to keep it at 4 teams, I'm sorry, you cannot have 2 teams from the same conference in there. It's
conference
dumb.
winner, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's how I kind of feel about it. But
no, I agree with you. Flat, I wholeheartedly.
And
agree.
Another reason why they need to expand.
Absolutely. Just looking at this, and I've been a big backer of the 8-team playoff.
Yeah.
I'm not big on the 12-team, although looking at this 12-team bracket, it kind of won me over a little bit.
Right.
But I looked at 8 teams, right? Mm-hmm. And so with if you expand to 6, which a lot of people talk about, only adding 2 more teams, you got to have 2 teams of a bye, right?
Yep.
If you expand to 10, you got to have buys, right?
Yep.
You expand to 12, we just read it to you. You got to have buys. If you expand to 8, there are no buys.
Just going.
And so the one thing you will do away with going to 8 is, yeah, of course, somebody might argue, well, the 9 team deserves to get in over the 8. Okay, that argument I don't care about. The 5 team over the 4 team, sometimes I care about that one.
Mm-hmm.
The number 9 team over the number 8 team,
not so much.
Go fuck yourself, I don't care.
Yeah, not so much.
But the thing that the 8-team playoff would do is it would do away with the arguing of who gets a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this team is at 3, but they should have been at 2, and they should have a bye, and it's not fair. So the 8-team playoff would do away with that bullshit.
Oh, it would, but you know what college football is going to do if they do expand? They're gonna do the 6-team model first. That's exactly what they're going to do, and then they're going to. I think that'll fail.
I hate the 6-team idea. I hate it.
I do too.
I hate it.
I do as well. Like if you're going to do it, do it. Like go to 8, go to 12, whatever. I'm with you lockstep on this one. I prefer the 8-team model, but if you go to 12, I'm not gonna hate it.
No, and actually I'm gonna hate it less now after looking at that and seeing what could happen.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna hate it less now.
So but it definitely needs to be changed, especially when like damn near every year you're allowing 2 SEC teams in. And frankly, you should just call it the SEC Invitational at this point. Like honestly, you should
call it the Nick Saban Invitational.
Right, honestly, because like I'm just tired of seeing 2 SEC teams and stop with the narrative that SEC football is just so much better. No, it isn't.
It's not. I mean, the top couple teams are.
Yeah, like Alabama and Georgia, fine. Even if you want to slightly throw Texas A&M in there, all right. I guess I see your beef with that.
I mean, I'll throw Auburn in there,
but like you got the 2 teams, Georgia and Alabama, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
But the SEC is so top heavy that it makes the conference look that much better.
Exactly. It's those 2 teams getting the national spotlight all the time that then raise that conference level.
Yeah.
As far as how people think about
them. Yeah,
them.
the perception of that conference is, frankly, thank Nick Saban for that.
Right.
If you really want to do it, but the SEC was good before Nick Saban got to Bama. Yeah, they were. It was a solid conference. There's no denying that because Florida was really good, and with Spurrier running the show down there. Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, running the show down there. But it wasn't quite to the level that.
That was before his South Carolina days, folks.
Yes, but that was before. That was all great, but it was like Florida and like maybe Tennessee for a minute. When they won
Tennessee,
the Natty.
When Peyton was there.
Shit, even after, because they won that Natty after Peyton left.
Yeah, I know. Peyton put them on the map, and then a couple years after he was gone, they were off the map again.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't quite to where the SEC is now, and no program in SEC history has ever been to the level that Nick Saban has taken Alabama to.
No.
Not even not even in the same stratosphere as what Nick Saban has done at Alabama. So, and that's why I think the SEC gets hyped up so much now is just because of what he's done at Alabama.
Joe Eberhard says the committee drinks the Kool-Aid about the SEC.
Of course they do.
As well as the general population.
And especially because ESPN is in bed with the SEC.
Oh, absolutely. But I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's nationally, that conference is looked at as something that it's really truly not. If you deep down dig and look at it, that conference is regarded as something that it's just not.
No, it's just you got the top two teams, and that's your window dressing, for lack of a better term. Yeah. But then you pull back that curtain a little bit, and it's just like, well, is this conference really that good?
Yep. So. You got them two out in front. They're the grand wizard, right? Yeah. And then you pull back the curtain, you just see an old man working a fucking microphone. And you're like, all right, well, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah, right. But eventually, I hope eventually people actually start to realize this, and the people that actually matter start to realize this. But until then, I think the like we said, the playoff has to be expanded in order
desperately. And I we've talked about it. I hate the 6 team. Mm-hmm. I would accept the 6 team as a step in the right direction, though, because I want something other than 4.
Yeah.
If they go to 6, I'll take it. It sucks, but I'll take it.
It's better than 4
because it's better than 4. But you're still going to have the argument over who's 1 and 2, who gets to bye. For me, 8 is the next step.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do it, you got to go to at very least 8. And like I said, if you don't do 8, do 12, whatever. I'm not going to be thrilled with 12, but I can live with it.
Well, you brought me back in on the 12 a little bit because of that, what you sent that, and looking over those matchups that could happen.
That nobody wants to see.
There's nobody wants to see. Nobody. But you look at those matchups that could happen, and man, if you're a college football fan, how would you not want to see some of those games?
Yeah, especially here locally. Say Michigan State wins that first round matchup against Baylor. It's like, oh, wait a minute, so we got to go play Michigan in the Rose Bowl to go for a shot to go to the semifinal?
Right.
Nah, I don't want to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nope.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nope. But it just
nobody would want to see Ohio State versus Georgia.
No. Why?
To battle for the winner of Michigan versus Michigan State. Nobody wants to see that.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to see a rematch of Notre Dame Cincinnati, right? On a neutral site. Nobody wants to see that.
So if Michigan or Michigan State wins that matchup between them, and then they get to play Ohio State in the semifinal.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Wants to see that.
No, nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see Notre Dame and Cincinnati rematch.
No.
Nobody wants to see that. Why would they want to see that? Notre Dame coming in all pissed off because Cincinnati beat them in their own home.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to see that rematch? No.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that. You know what people do want to see though? There you go, buddy. You got it.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. It's three. You messed me up, man. I was
my bad.
Is 3 hardworking real estate guys that are going to do whatever it takes to get you into a home today. That is the Joe Wright Group. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move and give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson of the Joe Wright Group a call today at 248-535-4750.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good job. I had nothing to say after that one. Usually I have a good little follow up, but I had nothing, so
it kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I said the Lions won the game. Man, we going all the way, baby. We about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game,
bitch.
God, I love that. That's so good.
I hate that team, but I can't get enough of that song.
That's so good.
Joe says nobody equals the committee. Right. That's and unfortunately they're the end all be all of everything at this point because
They are.
What they say goes, and to me it's ridiculous. It's insane to me what college football has done for many. The NCAA and the committee and all that stuff. It's all been.
It's a shit show. It's literally a shit show.
I guess I'd go with back alley abortion, but it's just an
I was
awful.
I was trying to do a less graphic.
Yeah, you were trying to do a more family friendly version of it. Yeah, they're basically the NCAA and the committee have become dictators, and everyone just has to go with what they say. When in reality, you're looking at it, and what they say and what they do is not right.
No, it isn't.
But you have to just be okay with it because they're the dictators in the situation.
Until you have an entity that can actually like overpower both of these organizations, which I think is going to be damn near impossible to do, then it's going to continue this way. Now, is it kind of a step in the right direction that these guys are finally getting paid? Yeah, I do. I think it's absolutely a step in the right direction.
I agree.
It's about damn time.
Speaking of which, did you see what was it? Was it McCarthy or McNamara? One of
McCarthy.
them, McCarthy, J.J. McCarthy, who's not even the starting quarterback for Michigan, is donating $10,000 of what he earned this year off of his name and likeness, name, image, and likeness. Mm-hmm. He's donating $10,000 to charities this year of money he earned off of his own name, image, and likeness.
Good on you, kid. That's awesome.
Yeah, I give that kid props.
Oh, but paying these guys, that's a bad idea.
It's just going to make them selfish, and it's
and I'm sure you'll get some cases where that actually is the case. But
yeah, of course you will. But
you don't look at the other side of this where they can actually do good with that money, you know.
And not to mention, listen, it's their own name, image, and likeness, so it's based on what they can earn off of their own selves. Yeah. And in reality, whether they're going to school or not, they should still be able to earn money off of their own name, image, and likeness. Yes. It's based on them.
Yeah.
And if they can earn some money off of it, and even if they only do good for their own family, who's gonna begrudge somebody of doing good by their own family?
Right.
And man, take care of your family. If you donate some to charity, great.
If some organization wants to pay X player, to endorse their product or sign autographs, why shouldn't he be able to sign autographs of himself?
Exactly.
Or sign his jersey and not get paid for it?
Right.
I mean, just the way that the NCAA had such a rule against this.
They were so against it.
Of course, because it takes money out of their pocket.
Yep. So we were talking about college football playoffs. Now on to another aspect of college football, which is the Heisman Trophy race.
Yes.
And so in this area, I won't say city, in this area, in this area of Southeast Michigan,
okay,
there is an entity, a group of people that are really up in arms right now.
Yes.
They're losing their shit.
They're absolutely losing their shit.
They're pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And I speak of Michigan State fan. And of course the alumni and anybody who roots for Michigan State. They're pretty pissed that that K9, Kenny Walker III, did not make it into the college Heisman list of invites to New York.
And Michigan State fan, before you get all fucking crazy, we're not bashing you on this one. Me and Joe actually agree with you on this one. He should have been invited to this.
I don't agree with how upset you are.
I don't.
It's
either.
Not otherworldly like you should be scarred for life over this, guys.
Right.
Let's calm down a little bit. But we absolutely, as two people on this show who are overall Michigan fans,
we've never hid that we dislike Michigan State,
and we definitely dislike Michigan State.
We've never hid that.
Nope, not once. I think I've actually flat out come out on this show and said I hate Michigan State and their fans
more than one time. Yes,
but when it comes down to it, you have an argument here.
You absolutely have a beef with us.
He should have been invited.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying he should win it because, no, he definitely should not win it, but he should have been invited to New York.
But to sit here and blame Michigan fans for him not being there is just utter nonsense and ignorance.
Yeah.
And then you're mad that Hutchinson is there. Dude, both of them should be there. That's exactly what we're saying. They both should be there. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Both of them should be there.
But Aiden Hutchinson didn't get a sack in the game against Michigan State, and Kenny Walker ran all over them. So listen, the season ended there, Chris.
It's over.
Okay? Aiden Hutchinson did nothing after that, and Kenneth Walker III should just be a Heisman. And actually, I can't even keep saying that because I'm just joking around. But no, Kenneth Walker needs to be there.
Yep.
I
No, he does.
100% agree that he needs to be invited to New York, but Aiden Hutchinson also deserves to be there.
Yes.
They both should be there. If Kenny Walker would have been sent there and Aiden Hutchinson wasn't, would it have ripped him off? Kind of, yeah, but I would be the same. I would be saying the same thing about Michigan fan if they were losing their minds over it. I'd be like, guys, just shut the fuck up.
relax.
Like, calm down. Like, it's not a huge deal.
Like this isn't
Like,
this isn't Michigan's fault.
Whoever's gonna win it is gonna win it. It
Right.
doesn't matter who's invited to
And
New
it's
York.
gonna be the quarterback from Alabama. He's gonna win it.
Yeah, Bryce
It's-
Young's gonna
yeah.
win it. Absolutely.
But this isn't Michigan's fault that K9 isn't there. So
Just same as it wouldn't be Michigan State's fault
Right.
if Aiden Hutchinson didn't make it there. Like, you don't always have to hate the other group for things that happen. You can hate them in general. That's fine. But like, it's not always Michigan's fault, and it's not always Michigan State's fault. It's just not the way it works,
no,
man.
the fact of the matter is they both deserve to be there. Again, neither of them are going to win it.
And to me, the one glaring one that doesn't deserve to be there, that I just don't think deserves to be there, and I'm gonna not alienate, but piss some people off that I know here too. C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud does not deserve to be there, man. I'm sorry, he just doesn't.
It's hard to disagree with that. I mean, if you were to pick one of the four guys that are there, in that group, I think he would be the odd man out. Absolutely.
Yeah, like if you're looking at the
And
four that are
it's
there,
not just because he's an Ohio State guy.
It's not at all, man. I'm not saying he had a bad season either. I'm just like, if you look at Heisman candidates, to me, he just stands out as the one in that group that kind of just doesn't stand out as the next, the big playmaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the huge playmaker. Yeah, he was solid. He had a solid year.
I mean, next year is he probably going to have a big year? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So then next year, that's fine. But you were basing it on this year. Bryce Young's going to win it probably.
Oh, yeah.
Again, probably SEC bias a little bit, but
I think the game against Georgia probably won it for him.
Pickett deserves to be there.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year.
He had a great year.
Yeah.
Hutchinson does deserve to be there, Michigan State fan. And then in that same breath, so does Kenneth Walker.
100%. So the ignorance where you're blaming Michigan for him not being there, just stop. That's not the case. Michigan has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's going to argue that Hutch doesn't deserve to be there, 13 and a half sacks, another 10 quarterback hurries.
Then it gets into the argument, did you go to either one of those schools? Does it matter?
Since when is being a fan of a school you had to have gone there?
That is one of the lamest arguments.
It's such a
like
bad
the lamest.
argument.
Honestly, I think it is the lamest sports argument. I think it's definitely in the top 3 of this lamest sports argument.
It's a very bad argument.
It is.
It's one of the worst because
like-
so nobody can root for a college football team if they didn't go to that school.
Right.
Then in that case, you wouldn't have very many fans.
No, you wouldn't, because we're Michigan fans, but we didn't have the grades or the money or know people to get into Michigan. So automatically, we can't be fans.
I didn't really go to college, so it's not like I was looking.
Right.
I wasn't looking to get into any college. I
Well,
mean,
fair
I
enough.
took some classes and then I ended up getting a degree later on. But
Yeah.
I mean, but none of that matters because there's a lot of people that are fans of a lot of schools that didn't go there.
Yep.
You think everybody that's an Alabama fan right now went to Alabama?
No.
Come on.
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
No.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
No, certainly not. But we digress. It's what it is.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with that. I mean, if you have anything, if you're out there listening and you have anything, either text us or put it on the Twitch or anything like that. But for us, that's where we stand on that. I mean, the guys that deserve to be there are there. There's one that should be there, and we agree with Michigan State fan.
Yep.
He deserves to be there. I just don't agree with you losing your mind over it.
No, there's no need for that. It's just it. Did he get boned? Yeah, he did. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
All right, move on. He's gonna come back. He was a sophomore this year. Or is he a freshman?
No, I think he's leaving.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's
He was a
done.
senior?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he was a transfer portal out of Wake Forest, I believe. So
all right.
he's done.
It's so hard to keep track of what class these guys are in, especially
Yeah,
with the
'cause they're-
transfer portal. It's like
Well, the
the
transfer portal's basically turned into free agency
exactly
in
what it
college
is.
football. I mean, that's free agency in college football.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. And the guys that take advantage of it properly, you see so many of these schools doing it. Okay, it's there. Use it. Shit.
Do it.
Yeah. So.
anything else we want to get into? I know the Wings are on. Hockey's kind of a show killer. I know it's an audience killer, but so the Red Wings are on a 5-game win streak going into tonight, looking to make it 6. Which, if you want to look at, so in this city, in this town, in this area,
they're losing 2-0 right now.
Losing 2-0. Okay, well that kind of sucks. But in this city, in this town, in this area, there are some rebuilds happening. I don't know if you heard that.
Wait, isn't this Hockey Town?
I hate that.
I've been told by numerous people this is Hockey Town.
It is not, because when you talk hockey on radio or on podcasts or anything like that, it's an audience killer. It's a ratings killer.
And one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, I stopped being a Red Wings fan.
And it's listen, we all have reasons for not being fans of certain teams, right?
Yes.
Joe Eberhard says, hockey, gotta go.
There it is.
And there it is.
Thank you for proving our point.
Exactly. Listen, as much as the two of us sitting in this room and Frank, who's a part of the show and is just not here today, as much as we're all three huge hockey fans, it's just not a topic that is gonna get people to listen or have people tune in. You know,
we know that.
We touch on it every once in a while. I just want to touch on it now because they have a 5-game win streak going on, and in an area where we have multiple rebuilds. Again, I know that might be news to people. The Lions are in a forever rebuild. This time they're actually calling it a rebuild. Whereas before they weren't calling it that. I know now they're finally calling it a rebuild.
Retooling.
Yeah, and reworking and whatever. So there's a rebuild there. There's a rebuild with the Wings, which is going fairly well,
and they are actually trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and Frank says fun team to watch right now. Yeah, they really are.
They have good young talent.
They have some very good young talent, and Yzerman has done a hell of a job.
They actually have a GM that is competent and knows what the hell he's doing.
Yes. And then you look at the Lions, and listen, I guess I could say they're trending in the right direction. They won a game finally. I'm kidding by that. So, I mean, then you look at the Pistons.
That has not gone the way we thought it was going to.
So last year...
Granted, I think that's more head coach oriented than anything, but...
I tend to agree with that run right now. I thought he was going to be good for the team. So I'm going to say I was wrong on that one. But they're, what are they, 4-19 right now?
Something like that, yeah.
And they're not a fun team to watch.
They are not.
To go the opposite of what Frank said about the Red Wings, they are not a fun team to watch. They're awful to watch.
I was excited to watch them this year.
As was I. We talked about it because they showed some good signs last year.
And it's just like, hey, what the hell is this?
And now all of a sudden they come out this year and they look completely different from last year. Mm-hmm. And listen, from the team you had last year, and you actually competed in games last year, and now you have the number 1 draft pick in Cade Cunningham, you'd think they would be a little bit better. They are so much worse.
They just look so disinterested. Like, in any game that I've watched, they just look absolutely disinterested.
They look very unprepared.
Unprepared, sloppy. Defense is horrendous. And granted, there's not a huge amount of defense that's played in the NBA anyways, but when you take that and then the level of defense that the Pistons are at right now, and that's below the shitty level of defense that's played in the NBA right now, that's bad.
It's very bad. They're a horrible team to watch right now, and I was excited to watch the Pistons again. I was excited for them to be good again. It looks like it's going to take a little longer than we expected here, man. They might need to make a coaching change. At this rate, they're looking at possibly being in the running for the number 1 overall pick again. Who knows? They who knows if they'll get that lucky? But man, it's just talk about 2 different rebuilds going in 2 totally different directions. You got the Wings, who it looks like it's going the right direction. It looks like they're doing it the right way, and they're trending.
There.
The Pistons have fallen off the fucking map, bro.
No, I think, especially with the Pistons, I think it's time. Dwayne Casey, it's been cool having you here, but I think it's time to move on and bring a new voice in. Because these guys clearly they're just not listening to you anymore. Like I think the message has gotten old, it's gotten stale.
And whether it's his fault or the player's fault or whatever, I'm not gonna point that out. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they need to make a change.
That's why the NBA, the shelf life in the NBA is so it's so short, because the players in the NBA they rule the roost. It's simple as that. They just do.
Yeah, the head coach is not really the head of anything.
No, unless you're like Greg Popovich or something like that. Yeah, nobody cares. It's like, all right.
Well, and listen, I haven't bagged on LeBron James in a while, but I'm going to right now. He's done some stupid things.
I'm always a fan of that.
That we haven't acknowledged over the last little while. He's done some things, and we haven't acknowledged it because we just had better things to talk about. But I'm going to take a few minutes right now to acknowledge the fact that motherfucker literally had a young couple. They looked like they were like 22 years old.
No.
20, somewhere around there. They were young. We're sitting courtside, and because they said something that LeBron didn't like, he literally stopped the game, went over and got the referee and got security and pointed these two out and had them escorted out of the arena.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, could you be a bigger baby?
Yeah, soft. Like I don't know what was said. I heard some snippets of what possibly was said.
I don't care unless they said the N-word.
Right.
I don't care what they said.
I think it was something about his family or some shit, like Bronny or whatever. I was like,
okay,
really,
so
dude? Really?
So listen, you're a public figure, and your son has become kind of a public figure. That they paid money to be in that crowd. They can say whatever the fuck they want, short of like
racist
something
shit.
racist.
Yeah.
They can say whatever they want. Now, if it's racist, no, I agree with you. Get them out of the arena.
100%.
Fuck you. There's no room for you there. But
it was funny, like after they got booted, to see the look on the chick's face, just like that arrogant, smug look on her face.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, like stop it.
yeah, it's to me that was just classless.
Yeah.
To like, bro. Whoa.
Well,
apparently, she said, "I hope Bronny gets in an accident and dies." That's what she said.
Oh. Yeah, that kind of changes the narrative a little bit. To me, it does.
I mean, to me, it doesn't.
That's fair.
Listen,
I think that's just taking it a little bit.
I mean,
extreme,
listen,
man.
is that right to say? No, but what? That's what you had him kicked out of the arena for? Why are you even paying attention to them?
I don't know.
Why do you even hear what they say?
I mean, if
to me, that doesn't change narrative.
That's fair.
It's a shittier thing that they said than what I was thinking. That's a shitty thing to say. So I'm not saying they're good people, but you had him kicked out of the arena because they yelled that. Like I said, to me, anything short of racist, they don't deserve. If it's racist, kick them out. Get them out of there. There's no room for that anywhere. But that, I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing to say. It's a bad thing to say. But bro, why are you even listening? Play the game.
Right.
You're on the court playing a game for millions of dollars that you get paid to play. Why are you paying attention to two people in the fucking audience?
No. I don't know. To me, that one.
Well, and then his punch to
to Isaiah Stewart,
to Beef Stew.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I didn't do it on purpose. Stop. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You clearly did.
And then after he hits a big shot, what did he do? He turned around and started grabbing his nuts on the court.
Dude, Kareem called him out for that.
Is he who did?
Kareem did.
Good.
Kareem called his out. He goes, why do you need to do that? Like, what's the point of that? You look stupid. Or something along those lines.
Frank said focus went to that and off the fight with Detroit. I think that was the goal. I wouldn't put it past him.
No,
I actually kind of like that thought process.
That
Frank.
dude is so image conscious.
He is.
100%.
So I didn't even think of that, Frank. That's a good thought. Maybe that is why he did it. To me,
dynamite analysis, Frank.
Dynamite drop in. No, it is good. I didn't really think of that. To me, that comment doesn't grant kicking them off the court. Like, you shouldn't even be paying attention to that. Like I said, racist comment, okay, you hear that, get them out of there. But anything short of a racist comment, why are you even listening, bro? Play the game you get paid millions of dollars to play. Why are you paying attention to them? And then the whole nut grab thing after you hit a big shot, bro, you're like approaching 40.
Mm-hmm.
You should be maturing. What have you name another big player, Hall of Fame player, major player that won championships that's ever done stupid shit like he does on the court?
Not off the top of my head.
Exactly.
There's probably like an NFL player who's done some dumb
Okay.
shit like that. But
I'm talking NBA.
Yeah, NBA,
like the big name NBA players that have won championships that are well regarded. They might have done a few stupid things when they were younger, aka Kobe. But Kobe matured. That's why I became a fan of him.
Right.
Kobe matured over the years, on the court and off.
Right.
LeBron, it doesn't seem like he matures at all. He's just the same person, and it seems like it's kind of getting worse. He's becoming more immature. Like, knock it off, bro. You're actually losing some of your fans.
Yeah.
Frank says his career is why I think kids need college ball. I don't disagree with that. I just look at him, and Frank, I know you've even said this several times, is you're a fan of LeBron, but he's been losing you over the recent little while.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not the only one of his fans to feel that way.
said I've never been a fan of LeBron, so
And neither have I, so I can't really speak on it because he's just giving me more reasons to not like him.
well, I mean, it's because I've always saw him as a fraudulent person. Simple I think he's completely fake.
I agree.
Again,
with that.
yeah, he does stuff for charities and all that shit. That's great. A lot of athletes do, and that's fantastic. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have a non-fake personality.
Oh, Frank says he lost me.
Oh,
damn! You gave up on the Lions and LeBron in the same fucking month.
Holy big month for Frank.
Holy shit! This is a milestone month, Frank.
Damn.
Damn.
Nice.
All right. Well,
all right then.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. You're just losing teams and players that you were a fan of left and right, man.
Right.
Fuck. I'm gonna send you a condolence card.
Nice.
But yeah, no, Frank, I understand why. There's and your reasons are legit. The guy has done and given people reasons to not be a fan of him, man. Mm-hmm. And he's given reasons to people that already hate him or don't like him. He's just giving them more reasons.
Yep.
Like, knock it off, man. Frank says he's cleaning house.
I see that.
All right. Well, listen, a little house cleaning in the winter is good.
Good for you, buddy.
So we're not going to do the picks this week. We were on week 14 of picks. I think with Frank being out this week and no college football, we're going to take a week off of the picks.
Yep.
And, you want to look at that Thursday game and just give our insight on it a little bit and see who's playing in that Thursday game.
What is it?
What is it?
I don't even know.
What is it? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Let's see. The Thursday game, if my phone will cooperate with me here,
Yeah.
is Pittsburgh at Minnesota.
Oh, good Lord.
So we're not going to do an official pick segment here, but
No.
Minnesota's given up 3 at home with Pittsburgh coming in. Minnesota's coming off a big loss to Detroit. Pittsburgh's coming off a big win against Baltimore. I'm going to take Minnesota minus the 3. I'm just based on Minnesota's going to be up to play for this game. They lost to Detroit. Pittsburgh's coming off a big win against a division rival who is leading the division. Traveling to Minnesota, I'm going to go with Minnesota minus 3.
Give me Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we just gave you dynamite analysis
I know, it's like-
on that Thursday game.
I think the Vikings are done. After that loss to Detroit, I think that team is done.
Well, I think Zimmer's done as the head coach there by the end of the season. But so I want to read off we'll just give the overall records here where we left off last week. So you were 4-3 last week,
All right.
as was I. Your record is 39-40-1.
Damn.
Mine is 40-39-1.
All right.
So we're one game away from each other. Then we go to Frank, who was 3-4 last week. His overall record is 42-37-1. So he's 2 games better than me.
Nice.
3 games better than you.
Nice.
You ended the season, or you're coming to the end of the season pretty well, Frank. You've had a couple of really, really good weeks there that boosted you up pretty good, man. And then Andrew, he had a very good week this week, 5-2. And he's done the same thing with Frank. He's had some really good weeks here towards the end, and he's also been pretty consistent over the season.
Yeah.
He's at a 44-35-1 record.
Nice.
2 games ahead of Frank, 4 games ahead of me, 5 ahead of you. Right. Overall for the season, we're all pretty close.
Yeah.
Andrew's definitely in the lead there, and I'd say he's definitely been the most consistent picker overall, which puts him at that leading record there. I think we've all had good weeks here and bad weeks there, but I would say Andrew's been the most consistent by far.
Good for you, buddy.
We will resume picks next week, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out next week on picks.
Yeah.
And especially coming into the college bowl season, we'll be doing bowl games and things like that. So, with that being said, do we have anything else we want to hit on this week, brother?
I don't think so.
All right, Frankie, feel better, man, and enjoy scheduling that parade for the one win. And
I said the Lions won a game. Man, we going all the way. We about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game.
bitch.
God, I fucking love that. That's fantastic.
All right. It brings us to the end of the show. Give us a like, a share, to follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can listen to any of our podcasts on any of our podcast providers that you choose. Go to SOTDET.com. Go to shop at
You can buy some
SOTDET.com.
swag, man. Our shop's up.
Yeah, we got our shop up and running. We have some swag out there. We have some merchandise for purchase. So please go out there, check it out. And if you like anything, you want to support the show, support Sports Untapped Detroit, we appreciate it. There's a lot of good stuff for you on there. SOTDET.com. Click on shop and shop to your heart's desire. Buy some Christmas gifts.
Yeah, it's going to be that time.
Yeah. So we appreciate everybody for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank from home, I am Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no.
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.